Shalom, shalom, akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to get into a brief lesson visiting the comment board regarding a comment that was left on the recent lesson I did regarding condemnation to Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. 2/3 of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the rest of you heathen joined unto this damn demon. And this individual was moved to express his thoughts on the comment board, which isn't a surprise, because pursuant to Jeremiah 5, this word, when it comes out in its true veracity, this word is likened unto fire, man. And all these people that are not right in the spirit, outside of the hopeful elect, they're being burnt up by it, man. They're being offended by this word. See? Because it's truth, okay? Which Yahweh Shai comes in the volume of the book. So ultimately, this division is because of him. But needless to say, this truth, okay, is the make or break, for those out there that, claim that they believe in the Bible and, they fear the Lord, who they ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ. When this word comes out in its true veracity, these precepts, are brought out, in succession, the true history of, the accounts that went down in the Bible are brought out in its trueness, in its pureness. That's when you see the devil, or come out in most of these people. Because, for the most part, these people don't understand the scriptures, man. They don't know the scriptures. They don't know the God of the Bible and his only begotten son as they claim they do. Because here it is, when the truth comes out, there's an uproar, man. There's an uproar. Hey, but it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because we're aware of, the elect, the Lord willing, we're part of that precious number, only being 1/3 of the nation of Israel, which is not a lot when you look at the nation as a whole, being that we are, as the sand of the sea, man. But ultimately, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is only calling his elect in these latter days, and only the elect are going to be able to understand and believe the report. So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I want to get that Jeremiah 5 real quick before we tap into that comment and make a few points on it. But let's go here real quick. Jeremiah, the 5th chapter. Because what you people are finding out, okay, with this word coming out in its true veracity, is that the God of the Bible and his only begotten son, they're not these passive, feeble, okay, loving everybody powers, man. No. They're greatly to be feared, man. They're greatly to be feared. And the judgment, okay, that's going to be executed, okay, in the days to come on a massive scale, okay, in the form of Jacob's trouble, and ultimately in its perfection in the form of World War III, when those missiles, those ICBM missiles, are shot to and fro, causing a thermonuclear fallout. Then you people are going to understand that this message was accurate and correct. You see? Jeremiah 5:14, it reads, "Wherefore, thus saith the Lord, power of hosts," man. See that? Power of armies. Why? Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war, man. That's another thing you people are going to find out. right? Because ye speak this word, behold, what word? The word, these scriptures, man. Because ye speak this word, right? Behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people would, and it should devour them, man. And hey, this is exactly, what's happening day in and day out as this word being preached, starting from my elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, is going out, man. Okay, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, man. With this word going out in this true veracity, you people are being devoured, man. And you don't know what to do with yourself. This is why you acted out in the comment, right? Now, this is from the last video I did entitled "The End of Them is a Flame of Fire," man. Right, and this individual, it looks like the name is Charis Young, right? And it reads, "My grandfather was Metis," and we're going to get into that, right? "He loved the First Nations people. He hunted, trapped, fished with them, provided for the non-treaty natives. So not all whites are racist pigs." And now you can see there's a confliction in his spirit, man. Because he's quick to put up the defense that, oh, my grandfather was Metis, which when you go into this nation, when you go into this people, you're going to see it. They're nothing but Edomites, man. Okay? But anyway, let's continue on. "It's not a racial war. There's good, bad, and all races." Hey, there's good and bad in all nations. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to argue with you about that. But ultimately, this is a racial war. Okay? And it's been since the beginning, man. Starting with Jacob and Esau. You see? These two nations were tussling. These two babies that sprung forth and formed nations were tussling, okay? In the womb of Rebecca, man, since the beginning, man. You see, this whole conflict between the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and this thing has been since the beginning, man. This is a spiritual conflict, man. And it manifests into physical day in and day out. And it's going to reach its perfection in the days to come. Right? Let's continue on. Generalization is unhealthy. And that generalization goes into what? Stereotyping. Hey, and at the end of the day, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's own history testifies against him, man. That he is a devil that the Bible speaks of, man. All of his atrocities that he's done since his inception. Okay, and the Bible pinpoints and targets this man, man. Okay, we know who we're dealing with, and we know not one of them do good, pursuant to the scriptures. No, not one, man. We understand and we know, okay, that they were the vessels created for wrath, man. They're the vessels created for destruction. They're the sons of perdition, the sons of destruction, man. They're wired to do evil, and this is why they do it. Right, let's continue on. "There's very loving, kind Vikings who help many tribes and oppress the so-called oppressive societies." And he doesn't even truly know who the Vikings are. But that's a whole nother lesson for a whole nother time. Right? Really, there's a veil lifted, okay, when Christ came to put an end to the oppressions whose day will come to an end. So, you can see there with that simple sentence, that this man is highly likely he's a wacky-tacky Christian, man. He's coming under the umbrella of, God loves everybody. Everybody can be saved. Universal doctrine. Okay, which couldn't be furthest from the truth. Right, let's continue on. "So why be a warmonger?" We quoted it earlier. Exodus 15:3. Our power is a man of war, man. Yahweh is his name. You see? Hey, Yahweh is a warmonger, man. I bet you didn't know that. Right? It's not flesh and blood we fight against. It's dominions, powers, thrones, rulers of darkness. Right? He's pretty much quoting what, Ephesians 6, right? Spiritual wickedness in high places. And it looks like the rest of the message got cut off, but needless to say, yeah, at this time, it's definitely highly spiritual. We understand that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is a whole witch, man. You know what I mean? This man's heavily into witchcraft, right? Through his medicine, which goes into pharmakia, right? Which goes into witchcraft. You know, we understand that he exercises his witchcraft through his media. You know, which when you go into that word media, it goes into medium. Okay, which pretty much will root you right back to witchcraft. You see, we understand what this man's about. That he's a complete witch. You know, but guess what? This thing is going to manifest into a physical a fight. You see? Again, in the form of Jacob's trouble. Right? These calamities that are going to come upon the planet Earth. Right? There's going to be civil unrest. And these things are coming, man. These things are coming. Whether you believe it or not. Now, what I wanted to do, what I did, is I looked into these metis. All right, these metis people. All right, and what you're going to find out, Salakia. As a matter of fact, let me go here. When you do a simple Google search, right, this is what you're going to find out. Well, who are the metis? Which that word metis goes into, I believe the etymology of that word goes into mix, right? But needless to say, the metis are a distinct indigenous people with a unique history, culture, language, and way of life. The Metis nation is comprised of descendants of people born of relations between First Nations women, which are the Nipissing, right? Real indigenous people, right? And European men. See, us Akiam and Akwath know what this means. What's this mean? Hey, these are nothing but some tears, man. Okay? These are nothing but some Edomites, right? The offspring of these unions were of a mixed ancestry, right? Which is no such thing as mixed, okay? Because you are who your father is, man. Okay? You are who your father is, being that the man carries the what? The sperm, the seed, okay? The bloodline. Okay? Now, and we're going to prove that, right? But when you dig a little deeper, now what I did was I went to Wikipedia. And when you dig a little deeper, right, and what you're going to find out, let's jump down. And when you drop the background tab, right, and take a look, I'm going to read a few paragraphs, right? This is what you're going to find out, right? Semantic definitions, right? Starting in the 17th century, all right, the French word metis was initially used as a noun by those in the North American fur trade, okay, and by settlers in general, to refer to people of mixed European and North American indigenous percentage in New France, which at the time extended from southern Quebec through the Great Lakes to the Mississippi River, thence southward to Mississippi and Alabama. At the time, it applied generally to French-speaking people who were of partial indigenous and partial ethnic French descent. It also came to be used for people of mixed European and indigenous backgrounds in other French colonies. Generally, the children of unions between French men, all right, and women from colonized areas, right, including Guadeloupe in the Caribbean, Senegal and West Africa, Algeria and North Africa, and the former French Indochina and Southeast Asia, right? Check this out. The first documented Metis child was a girl born about 1628 near Lake Nipissing, all right, which is up there in Canada, given the first name Margaret, who was the illegitimate daughter of a Nipissing Indian woman, and Jean Nicolette de Delaborne, okay, of France, man, of Cherbourg, France. All right, this is the first documented Metis child, okay? Now, when you look this dude up, this is what you're going to find out, okay? Edomite. All right, European settlers, man. Okay, that came through and handled Jake roughly, because you know it wasn't a Salakia, bear with me. There was another point I want to get. Salakia. Let me go back to Wikipedia. Because you know it wasn't a friendly account. We know that. How were these nasty niggas able to lay with these Nipissing indigenous women, man? These Gad, man. How were they able to do that? Obviously, they had to move the men out the way, right? See? This is what they were doing, man. You know they were raping on the women, killing on the men, raping on the children. Come on now. There's how these nasty niggas get down. Now, there was another point I want to make real quick. Now, Khan Salakia, that was the point actually I wanted to make there. Okay? Now, that's the first, we're talking about, this is the first documented Metis child. Okay? Stemming out of this nigga Jean Nicolette. Okay? Full-blown European Edomite. You see? And this individual that left this comment on my comment, but you can see that he's clearly bothered by the report of that lesson, man. Why? Because these people know and understand that it's time to pay for what you've done, man. And yeah, the message comes off rough, but hey, you handled us roughly, man. You see? Through our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai allows you. The only reason why you were able to put your hands on us is because we offended, we transgressed, we broke the everlasting covenant, man. Therefore, guess what? These curses rest upon us, pursuant to Deuteronomy 28. You see? But we're coming into a time where you people got to pay now, man. You people got to pay, man. Yeah, be offended. You see? But referring to these Metis people, hey, they're nothing but Edomites, man, for the most part, man. These European men were laying with these Nipissing indigenous women, man. And when you go to Numbers 1 and 18, right? Now this is regarding Israel, but this is the way it's conducted, man. If you go back to it, if you want to track who you are, you go to the scene. Even the elites know this. You see? Even the elites know this, man. Why do you think you have something called dukes? The Dukes of Edom. They know. It's all through the man, man. That's how that family tree is traced and tracked, right? Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees, right, their ancestry, right, after their families by who? By the house of their fathers. Why? Because again, the men carry the sperm, the sperma. When you look that word up, it's gonna, what's the word for sperm? Seed, man. You see, the bloodline, right, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls, man. You see? And here it is. This man, these Metis people for the most part, and again, you know, we got speckled birds everywhere. You know, they could be speckled, you know what I mean? You can't cancel that point out, but from their history, that's quite current, because it stems back to the 1700s. They have a documentation of the first Metis child, man. So it's, hey, for the most part, hey, these ain't nothing but some tears, man. You see that seed that was sown by the wicked one, man. Lord willing, we're gonna get that in Matthew. What's that? Matthew 13. Lord willing, we're gonna get that, man. You see, and here it is. Let's go back to that comment real quick. Cause you mentioned Mashiach, right? We ain't gonna really tap into a lot of the dogma he was talking, right? But as far as Mashiach's concerned, he said what? Really, there's a veil lifted when Mashiach came to put an end to the oppressions whose days will come to an end. Yeah, the veil has been lifted in these latter days, right? This is why Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is being revealed for being the devil, okay? That the Bible speaks of, man. That wicked is being revealed pursuing the 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. Why? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has lifted that veil in these latter days, man. This is, hey, he's returned the word back to his people in the form of his hopeful, in the form of his hopeful elect. You see? He's allowed the world to know how Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, truly gets down. You see? And ultimately, there's not going to be an end to no oppression, man. Okay? Because in the kingdom to come, there's going to be oppression for 1,000 long, drawn-out years. Pursuing the biblical prophecy. You see? You people are going to be oppressed, man. See, these heathen are trying to run away from their judgment. You know, and this wacky, tacky Christianity, okay, allows them to find some form of comfort, okay, for the atrocities that they have done. But when you tap into the scriptures and its trueness, what you're going to find out is that you're going to be rewarded for your works, man, whether they be good or whether they be evil. And let's prove that. Let's go back to the scriptures, man. All right, Matthew, you niggas, okay, are not going to escape, okay, the judgment that's written for you, man. Okay, you Edomites, right, you so-called white people, the rest of you heathen, you see? Yeah, we ain't forgetting about the Saharan slave trade that you nasty niggas did to us as well. You see Islam. You see, we ain't forget about that. Hey, you nasty Africans, we ain't forget what you done. Hey, 230 you, Jake, you join unto these niggas, hey, you gonna pay too. Hey, this is what's going down, man. Thus says the Lord. Matthew 16 and 27. Hey, this is the energy that the Lord's coming back in. He's not coming back all faggoty, man. Okay, the way Christianity represents him. All right, Matthew 16 and 27. All right, for the Son of Man, right, Yahweh Shai, shall come in what? The glory of his Father with his angels, man. And then he shall reward every man according to his works, man. See? So, hey, you did good, you did evil. Guess what? You're going to be rewarded accordingly, man. Okay, and we can get a snapshot of the energy that the Lord's going to be coming with. As a matter of fact, we got in this precept. When you go to Isaiah 66. And verse 15, and it reads, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, man. And these chariots are what you people are ignorantly calling UFOs, man. And UAPs. They're the chariots of the Lord, man. Doing reconnaissance missions on you demons, man. Reporting it back to the Lord, letting them know that this place is ripe for destruction. It's ready to go. Hey, and your people are down there crying, mourning, and they're ready to go home as well. You see? And when they come, it says they're going to come like a whirlwind, man. A whirlwind is a very aggressive wind, all right, in the form of a tornado or a twister. And what happens when a tornado touches down, man? It rips anything and everything off its foundation, man. It roots it right up. You see? Hey, this is how the Lord's coming, man. To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. And that fire is going to come in the form of those ICBM missiles, okay, which are the weapons of the Lord's indignation, all right? And those chariots that are able to shoot concentrated heat. Okay, these are the two forms of that fire, man, that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to execute on you people, man. And here's the point right here. For by fire, see, the last time it was by water. The Lord drowning you wicked niggas out. This time he's going to do it by fire, man. The next best thing to a cleansing agent, right? For by fire and by his word, see, will the Lord plead with all flesh. And when you go into that word plead, it goes into what? Just in case you don't believe me. This word plead in the blue letter.
Strong's H, 8199. Shaphat. Shaphat.
Shaphat, right? And it goes into what? To judge, govern, vindicate, punish. See, judgment is coming upon the return of the day of Yahweh Shai. See, punishment, man. This is why when you go to Amos 5, it says what it says. Who are you? Why are you just don't? I'm gonna have to go get that after we finish this up, real quick. Right? Let's finish this up. Isaiah 66:16. For by fire and by his word will the Lord plead or judge or vindicate or punish with all flesh, man. And the slain of the Lord shall be many, man. The Lord's coming to slay. They don't read this scripture in the churches, and if they do, they will make up a fairy tale story behind it that has nothing to do with reality, man. This is what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is coming to do. Okay? Judgment is going to be executed upon the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai. Let's get this real quick in Amos 5. Amos 5:18, it reads, woe unto you, right? Destruction unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Why? To what end is it for you? Question mark, man. We just read in Isaiah 66:16 that the slain of the Lord shall be many, man. Hey, there's a chance that you're part of those slain, man. Unless you've been shown mercy by being allowed to return to the Lord in truth, in spirit and in truth, and you've repented, right? And you're seeking the Lord's face, okay? And you're coming under the correct doctrine and gospel. If not, guess what? You qualify to be slain, man. Let's continue on. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Evil and only evil is coming with the return of the day of the Lord, man. He ain't bringing what Christianity is telling you he's bringing. See? He ain't, hey. And if you ain't a part of the elect, Lord willing, we are. Right? If you're not part of the elect, guess what? You're going to get caught up in the flame of the fire, man. In the form of these calamities that are coming, that are going to be sent by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And literally, man. Okay? When this place is literally hit with missiles and zapped down by those chariots, man. Let's go to Matthew. Let's close out here in Matthew 13. You see, making the point that these Medes people, man, they ain't nothing but some Edomites, man. They ain't nothing but some tears. You see? Because this is what Evil E's been doing. Evil E's been spreading his seed, man. There's a lot of tears out here. You know? There's a lot of tears out here, man. And you can see in the countenance of that man, of that individual's comment, that he's cut. He's cut in the spirit from that lesson. And this same person knows, he knows the history of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, but still trying to find a way to excuse the fact that judgment has to come upon them for what they've done. No, see, the God of the Bible, man, he's not a one-way power. No, he's a perfect power. He's all about balance and just weights. And it wouldn't be balanced and just if you heathen, all right, weren't judged for what you've done to his chosen people, man. You must be judged for what you've done, and you're going to be judged. It's written that you're going to be judged. Now, this parable of the tears, right? This is Yahweh Shai breaking it down to his disciples, right? In private. Now check this out. This is Matthew chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at verse I'll start at verse 16, and it reads, Then Yahweh Shai sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. And he answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed, right, is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, the Israelites. Okay? The Israelites are the children of the kingdom, right? But the tares are the children of the wicked one. Okay? And who comes in the energy of the spiritual demon Satan pursuing the 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You see? The enemy, all right, that soweth them is the devil. Okay? And that word devil goes into what? Deceiver. Okay? Slanderer, false accuser. You see, this is what we call this man a devil. This is what this is what you can find manifest in his works. Right? The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world. Right? And the reapers are the angels. So ultimately the angels are going to separate the sheep from the goat, man. You see? The angels are going to separate the children of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and the tares, man. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire. And we read about some of the fire, man, in Isaiah 66, right? Hey, that's how the Lord's coming back. See? The Lord's coming back to cleanse this evil, man, off the face of this planet Earth. The physician's coming to cut off that disease, which is Esau, man, first and foremost, man. That long disease. You see? And everything that's joined unto him. And that he sowed, right? As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world, right? And this world is Esau's world, this eon. You see? Remember, Esau is the end of the world, 2 Ezra 6 and 9. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. Esau's world is going to end by destruction, okay? By missiles flying, okay? That's how Esau's world is going to end. Violently, man. Revelations 18. Right? So, Salakia, and let me get a little more. Matthew 13 and 41. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, Matthew 24, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity. See, so all of you that are joined unto this nigger, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you're going to fall with him rapidly, man. Let's read this again. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity, man. You see, you're going to fall with evil E, man. Let's get a little more. And this is what's going to happen to you. Right? 2/3 of you, Jake, that don't want to turn back. And want to continue to be joined to this nigger, Esau. And you heathen, man. And shall cast them into a furnace of fire. Let's blow this up. And shall cast them into a furnace of fire. Okay? This is what the Bible's talking about, man. This is in the New Testament. You see? This is what's going to happen at the end of days, man. This is what's coming. And shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Right, because a lot of you thought you were in the right. A lot of you thought that you had it right with Christianity, man. And calling on white Jesus Christ. Okay? A lot of you thought you had it right with persecuting the true men of the Lord. Okay? A lot of you thought you had it right with being joined to Mystery Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, man. But what you're going to find out is that you had it wrong. When you're going to find out, hey, when that judgment rests upon you. When you're not delivered. When you don't get beamed out of a chariot. When the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is not upon you. Okay? Upon these latter days. You see? You're going to realize it then. That you were wrong. You were off. And ultimately, prophets were among you, man. You see? Prophets were among you, man. And you heathen are going to pay. Hey, whether you believe it or not, you are going to pay for what you've done to Yasha Allah. You see? And all this is here is a display of a guilty conscience, man. Because you see how we opened up in this comment, okay? Trying to seek a form of remorse, you know, or a form of innocency, for lack of better words. That's the word I was looking for. You see? Joining himself to our brothers, the indigenous people, man. God. Okay? And this is just one of many atrocities that these devils have done. You see how he tries to sugarcoat like a real-time Edomite, man. You know? He tries to sugarcoat it. You know? My grandfather was Metis. He loved the First Nations people. Yeah, okay. He was the same one that killed on the men to get to the women and the kids, man. You see? We know what you've done and throw us in mass graves, man. Don't think we don't know. We know, man. And you bastards are going to pay for what you did. I'm going to close out right here. Jeremiah 30. I'm going to start at verse 15. It reads, why criest for thine affliction, ? Thy sorrow is incurable. For the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee, right? And this is why, you know, you heathen, starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you know, you were able to handle us so roughly. You know, it's because of we transgressed against our power. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do to us, man. He delivered us into a cruel nation, man. A nation of fierce countenance, man. That will show no pity for the old and none for the young. But guess what? Hey, there's a penalty for that. Right? As we're going to continue to keep reading, we're going to blow this up. Jeremiah 30 and 16, we'll close out here if the Spirit allows. Therefore, all they, and this goes into the perfect balance of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, call it what you want. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, man. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for prey, man. You see, and this is prophecy right here. This is going to happen in the eon to come. Were these curses written of in Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68 are going to rest upon you heathen, pursuant to Deuteronomy 30 and 7. So this is what you people have to look forward to, man, you heathen, starting with Esau, Edom. This is what you have to look forward to, man. You see, you're going to be devoured as you devoured us. Okay? You're going into captivity, man. Okay? You're going to go into those yokes of iron so heavy. Hey, you're going to be barely able to keep your head up, man. With that iron around your neck. Hey, this is the judgment written, man. And it's going to come. And it's coming. You see? So, hey, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, hey, you heathen, you better be afraid, man. You better be very afraid, man. Because your judgment is upon you, man. You see, your judgment is upon you, man. Get ready for slavery, man. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwedash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwath were edified. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kal Halalium La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kwedash. Shalom.